When King Salman bin Abdulaziz took over Saudi Arabia, U.S. President Barack Obama showed him the courtesy of paying his respects in person by changing his travel schedule. But when the president invited the king to attend the GCC summit, it was announced at the last minute he couldn't come, widely perceived in the U.S. as a snub. Now they will try to move past it with a White House visit. The Saudis are widely seen as coming with a military wish list, in large part because of concern over the Iran nuclear deal.
Certainly they're looking for a variety of new forms of military support, and they'd probably like the United States to export a bunch of new weapons to them, and we have difficulty saying yes to that because of the commitment to Israel and its qualitative military edge, which is a long-standing policy for exports to that region.
They're in talks to buy Navy frigates like this one, other military hardware, and additional training. Negotiations for these are still ongoing. A senior administration official says not to expect any major announcements. For its part, the U.S. says it wants Saudi to stop supporting what they call the more extremists of the opposition groups in Syria, and they will again urge restraint in Yemen as the civilian casualty count grows and the humanitarian situation worsens. The president's made that request before without results. It didn't stop the U.S. from recently providing an additional $500 million worth of bombs and bullets to replenish Saudi Arabia's arsenal last month. Analysts say the relationship between the U.S. and Saudi Arabia is changing because of falling oil prices.
From being essentially a price taker in the global oil market, the U.S. is increasingly the price maker, because the global swing producer now is actually U.S. shale production. And therefore, the U.S., strategically speaking, is far less dependent on Saudi Arabia or the region or OPEC as a whole than it used to be.
The two leaders now have to figure out what a less dependent relationship for both sides will look like, with a changing dynamic in a changing region. Patty Culhane, Al Jazeera, Washington.